welcome to our first ever podcast and episode of Hot Gear Thrills, where we talk about cars and many other things. My name is Manny, your host, and today we're going to be collaborating with our friends over at Cisco's Benz and Beamers, located in beautiful Rancho Cucamonga, California. Today, we have put together a very special show for you. We're going to be talking about something that has brought a sense of nostalgia throughout many, many generations. And we're talking about the ultimate driving machine. Yes, the BMW. But more specifically, we're going to be talking to you about the BMW M3. Now, why is this car making a comeback now, 30 years later? Why is this car so special? Have you been thinking about getting one, but you're not sure? Is it worth the investment? Well, we're going to answer a lot of these questions and more today, so hang tight and let's go. Hey guys, thank you for joining us. So I have Cisco here from Cisco's Benz and Beamers. What's going on, man?
Hey, what's going on, Manny? Thank you for having me here, or thank you for coming, brother.
Thank you, man. Thank you for opening your doors.
Absolutely, anytime, brother. You're like family to us. You already know.
Thank you so much. Tell me, what's your position? How did you start this business?
So I am the founder, CEO of Cisco's Benz and Beamers, established 2012. Been in business for almost 15 years now. Yeah, we specialize in BMWs, Mercedes. You know, those are our strong factors right there. Our strong, how should I put it?
Your bread and butter.
Right, our specialty.
Yeah, your specialty.
Right, but we could do anything, but that's our bread and butter, like you said.
Well, let's dive right in because I think we're talking about the BMW, the E36. As you know, we introduced it. It's right behind us.
Beautiful car.
It's amazing, and we have. So first of the production years, it's kind of funny that the car was first introduced in Europe in 1992.
Right.
And then it was introduced in the US in 1994 to be sold in 1995. One of the things that we were talking about earlier is how they gave Europe more horsepower than they gave us.
Absolutely, and that's the weird part. And of course, Germany and Europe has their own. And Canada, United States got their own. But yeah, they did. They produced a European S50 B32, I believe, that put out over 300 horsepower. I think it was 320, 340, somewhere.
That's crazy.
And they didn't have a 5-speed; it had a 6-speed.
6-speed
transmission. And then they had the other one, the S50 B30, I believe it was, which was 240, I believe, or 280, something like that.
Right.
But then the US got the S50.
The S50, right.
And which
240.
240, right.
240. So the specs of this car, what they built here is the 3.0 liter inline six, 24 valve, 240 horsepower, 3 liters. So I mean, this was almost like the base from what Europe got, but still, this car got a lot of traction here in the US, and it became sort of an iconic.
Right. 3 Series BMW's always been known for their M3s.
Right.
That's their iconic car. That's like Mercedes has the S-Class. That's their. When you think of a Mercedes, you think of an S-Class.
Right.
BMW is the 3 Series, and particularly an M3.
Right. And as far as performance, throughout the years that you've been in business, dedicating your time to BMWs and Mercedes-Benz, I'm sure you've seen a lot of M3s of this kind. The performance, what's unique about the car when it comes to, for example, the engine, the performance, the things that you do that you notice as a specialist?
Well, number one, it was very analog, naturally aspirated. Of course, turbos did exist back then, but there wasn't no need for it back then. It kept up with the performance of any car in its era.
Right.
It kept up good, and it had potential for being NA, naturally aspirated, for doing downpipes and putting better induction on the air. Aluminum radiators, catless. So it did good. If you want to step it up a little bit, then you could throw a supercharger, stuff like that. But for its era, it was very good. Plus, it came with options automatic, as sad as it sounds, which a car like that shouldn't even come with options to be automatic. You know, so you wanted to have the manual, and the thrill about an M3 is
Right.
you got the feeling that you're shifting, you're in
Right.
power, you know, which is the new cars. I mean, it's hard to find on the new ones like, you know, G80s, F80s,
Oh, yeah,
and stuff
absolutely.
like that. You got the SMG trannies.
And I think it's also the era, like, I think the 90s was the shift of the stick, the manual, to starting to introduce more of the automatic transmissions. So, with this car specifically in 95, I believe it did 0 to 60 in about 5.8 seconds.
5.8, yeah,
For that time, I think it was a fast car.
it was.
For
Absolutely.
today's time, it's still a fast car.
Right.
Not the fastest, but it's still considered a fast car. I mean,
Absolutely.
compared to some of the newer cars, you know,
Absolutely, yeah.
it's still a fast car. And now today, you get all this mods that you can do. So that car is a 4-second car if you modify it.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It's insane, right?
Yeah, it's a beautiful car. Yeah, you could do a lot of mods to it, and I get at least 400 horsepower. You know, if you got the right tuner, the right setup. You know, these cars, you know, changing internals, camshaft, everything.
Yeah, that's a lot of power,
Yeah, it is for that little car. Absolutely.
right? Yeah, I mean, hoping that nothing else breaks at at that horsepower, because you
Right.
probably have to modify a bunch
Yeah,
of
you
other
got to
stuff, right?
modify the differential and all
Right.
that. You know,
Right.
to get the
Yeah.
right horsepower out of it.
We have the flies burning up there.
They're
It's like a machine gun, dude.
Right.
So, man, also another feature of this car was the handling. And I think it was independent suspension at
Right.
every corner.
Yeah, and the balance on it, I believe, was 50-50 on it.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah,
The weight
car-
distribution?
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
For a car that's 3,200 pounds, it's
It's a heavy car.
yeah, it is a heavy
Yeah.
car. But the fact that they were able to distribute the weight on an even 50-50 is just unbelievable.
Does that
For the
compare?
time of the car, you know,
Right. And does that compare to the previous model? I think it was the the
the
E30?
E30. Yes, it's similar. But of course, this one's years older, so
Yeah.
they changed a lot of things. It's got its downfalls and stuff like that.
Sure. Like every car, right?
Absolutely, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's got power steering, hydraulic power steering. I mean, independent suspension, like you said.
Yeah. So I've driven the car a couple times. There's a kick to it. Like you drive it, you feel it. There's a difference in driving, for example, some of the newer cars than this car. You're in control. You got the stick shift. You got the clutch. It's more
Pedal,
like
yeah, it's
like you
like-
said, it's an analog thing. I like that feel. You know?
It's kind of like you're 2-in-1 with the car.
You're with the- yeah.
because it's like you got the clutch pedal, you got the shifting. I mean, it's like you're part of the car.
Yeah.
You know, not like these newer cars that does everything by itself, which
Right.
is very precise. Don't get me wrong; they're very fast cars, but
Yeah.
you don't get the feeling of what
Right,
an E36
right.
does.
And maybe that's one of the reasons why it's become a very popular track car.
Right.
A lot of BMWs, but specifically, these cars have become very, very fast cars on the track. And with all the mods and everything else, I mean, there's a list that I was looking at of all of the different races that they have participated in. And I mean, there's tons of races in Japan, competitions in Germany. I mean,
Right.
these cars became a staple of the race sports industry.
Again, it's because of the 50-50 balance, and
Yeah.
you start ripping the seats out, you start making it lightweight. This thing is,
Yeah.
you could drop easily 300 pounds on the car, no
Yeah.
problem.
Right.
With the engine that's pushing 400, it's
Yeah.
a no-brainer. Throw a roll cage in there and everything.
Is that legal? Not that we want to give you any advice, but is it legal?
It's not legal, but it's doable.
It's doable. Yeah.
Right,
Now you
right,
take
right.
your own risks here,
Right,
right?
absolutely, yes.
That's crazy. And also the line. I think the line of the car is very unique in itself. I appreciate BMWs, and over the years, you can look at a newer BMW. I think they have somewhat kept the line, kept what the car looks like over the years. A little bit more round versus a bit boxier, but I think they've kept the line of the BMW sort of
Right.
in the family.
The signature of the BMW is the famous kidney grills that they've always kept.
Yeah.
So throughout the years of this vehicle, even though the body changes and stuff like that,
Yeah.
they keep the same kidney grill concept, which is the very it's kind of like the signature as well of BMW, the
Yeah.
two kidney grills.
Yeah.
So you go back to the 70s, you still got two grills. You
Right.
move up to the 80s, you got two grills. Move up to the 90s, you got two grills. Even till today, you still got two grills.
Yeah.
Big grills, but it's still the
Yeah,
signature.
they're significantly bigger now.
Right. Oh yeah.
Right?
Yeah. So yeah. So and I think that's what has kept this car, that signature, what they have.
Yeah.
And of course the sleekness and the way that the body's made.
Sure.
But that's what I think has kept this car just itself. And
Yeah.
you know, another thing about this car is you know, BMW is their own make. You know, they
Sure.
don't branch off. They don't. You know, aside from them, we're forced to buy Land Rover and to buy Mini Cooper.
Yeah.
But aside from that, BMW is just BMW, just like Mercedes is Mercedes. You
Right.
know, and that's the beauty of them, that they don't change. They don't branch off into other cars like Hondas, and then you got Lexuses and then Toyotas
With different
and then
engines
Acuras.
and different
Right,
products.
different bodies, but it's the same engine and stuff like that. But these cars keep themselves original and just 100%.
Yeah.
What they stick to. And
Funny you mentioned that. So important fact here, there's a Ferrari California behind us. And that radio, it is a Sebring and a Dodge Caravan radio.
right.
They just change the label and they sell it to you for 3 times as much.
Exactly. We
But
just go pull up.
It's the same
pull one out
radio.
the Caravan.
It's the same radio. So BMW doesn't do that. They keep all of their components in-house, basically.
Correct. Yes.
Which is great. I mean, it's I think it's great authenticity for the brand, right?
Absolutely. 100%.
Yeah, man. I got my cheat sheet because we got a lot to discuss. But
Oh yeah.
now we talked about the reasons for the comeback, and it's making a comeback now 30 years later. I think it never went away, but it's been sort of overseen over the years because there's new models, new M3s, now the M5s and the M6. I mean, there's a lot of different
Right.
things, but this car is making a comeback now, like you said, because of its analog features, more mechanical. You're in it with the car, and that makes a big difference. The engine specs, also we talked about that and the uniqueness of it. You mentioned the grille, which I think, I never thought about that, and you point that out, very, very wisely. The performance of this vehicle, I think it's for a car of its, sorry, my squeaky foot. For the car of that era, it is very unmatchable. I love GTIs growing up, Golf GTI, but that was a front wheel drive. This
Right.
is a rear wheel drive, and you can really match those cars. So this is a very unique car in itself.
Right.
When did BMW start doing all-wheel drive for these types of models, roughly?
So, let me answer you the first question of the why this car is coming back.
Yeah,
I strongly believe that this car never went away.
right.
This car's always, intrigued a lot of BMW enthusiasts. That the newer cars came out and stuff like that. Yeah, the beautiful cars they have, they obviously they outperform this one.
Sure.
But there's something I personally I believe that aside from it being 30 years old as a classic car, it's not just a classic car.
Sure.
It's a high performance classic car
Right.
that at its time everybody wanted an M3. I mean,
Right.
Who's never wanted. So I think because of that reason, people still, M3, they still think about the E36, the E30.
Right.
So I don't think those cars are ever gonna, honestly go away, and people really, really forget about them.
Oh, absolutely.
People who really know their stuff are
Yeah.
always gonna have in the back of, oh yeah, I want a E30 M3, or I want a G80 now. But
Right.
at the end of the day, they're still gonna think about the classics of where BMW really started
Right.
with the M3s. M6s back in the 85s, believe it or not, they had.
Yeah.
I think 82 they had M6s back then. So
Yeah.
it's just BMW thing. Anybody who loves BMWs, they're gonna love M series
Right.
cars. But the M3 is the key one that everybody loves.
Right.
Now, going back to the all-wheel drive, BMW started making all-wheel driving cars, I believe in '85 with the 325 Xi.
Okay.
So they've been doing them for a while. Not that popular, not till now, because with all these
Right.
new drift cars and these
For sure.
things. but they've had them for a while now, since '85. Yeah.
Okay. It's interesting. I mean, and I don't think it was something that they thought about doing for a high performance vehicle. It was more, I think it was thought of having a rear wheel drive.
Right, and you got to remember, these cars come from the snow, so you got to put all-wheel drive. You come from Germany, you got to have that four-wheel traction all the time. You know, aside from performance, I mean,
you just there spinning your
right,
wheel.
exactly.
Yeah.
So I mean, they should have done a little bit earlier, if you ask me.
Yeah.
I mean, better late than never.
Right,
Makes sense?
exactly, exactly. Well, and it's funny because with what you're saying now, that enthusiasts are always going to go back to maybe the roots of that, and that takes me to our next point, which is the rising value of this car has gone through the roof. So as you're mentioning that, you know, I want to point out the rising values of these M3 E36 units. Germany, which is some data that I was collecting this week, Germany has seen an increase of 160% in the value of those cars. Now, here in the US, the median price, we're talking about maybe 19K, right? 10 years ago, it was 8 to 10K.
Right.
So they've significantly appreciated. I mean, it's...
and they're just going to continue going up.
Yeah.
I mean, they're going to be in more high demand. And,
yeah.
you know, it's as sad as it sounds, you know.
If it's a good... I don't know if it's a good... I wouldn't call it an investment, but I think it would be a good purchase if you get something that's high mileage, you want to fix it, and you want to keep it. I think you could make some money eventually with the M3. I don't know when it's, you know, when it's going to plateau, but I think right now it's still a good time to get. And there's many units out there that you could still get in decent shape. Talking about, you know, the falling panels. I've never had that.
Door panels and headlighters, coming apart, doing door lock actuators, you know.
Yeah.
Seen it all, I mean.
Yeah.
But going back to that, you hit me right where it hurts. You know, a couple years ago, I want to say maybe about back in 2017, 18.
Yeah.
I did have the honor of purchasing one from one of my customers that moved out of state.
Yeah.
And I had kept it, and the car was immaculate condition.
Yeah.
Seats were like, I mean, literally like brand new. The interior, the outside of the car.
Yeah.
I believe it only had like 87,000 on it at the time. And he gave it to me because he didn't give it to me, obviously. He sold it to me, but at a very reasonable price. Mm-hmm. I think I paid like $7,500 for it or something.
Oh, wow. That's a good price, yeah.
And he wanted like 12 for it at the time. And he was selling it outside. And then he goes, well, I'll offer it to you, Cisco, since you worked on it. And I trust you. And, you know, it's going to get a good home. So give me this for it. I said, oh, really? I said, yeah, let's do it. So, you know, I went to a bank, got the cash, bought the car.
Yeah.
And, you know, I had it for about a week. I loved the car, man. The car was, I didn't even want to drive the damn car. Like, I was scared to even, you know, to put miles in it. It was so clean, the carpet. So, long story short, I said, you know what, let me put it up for sale. Let me see how much I could get for it. A week later. So, I put it up for like, I think it was like 18,000 or something like that.
Yeah.
And right away, people started biting, bro. Like, wow. I only had it up for sale for maybe about, I want to say, maybe about 4 hours.
What?
And somebody offered me, I think it was like $17,500 right away that they had the cash on that. And I was like, should I sell it? Should I sell it? Should I keep it? I know it's a gem.
Yeah.
And I said, you know what? I can't hold any value on, I can't hold any love on materialistic stuff.
Right.
So I let it go. But in reality, I was thinking like, I should have kept that.
Maybe a couple more years.
Right, exactly. And here I am now. We're 10 years later.
And it's hard to find them with low miles, though.
Right, exactly. I bet you that car is probably worth at least $32,000 right now.
Wow.
You know, given that the guy took good care of it.
Yeah.
You know, but the guy that I sold it to already had plans of putting headers and
taking it to the track.
Yeah, taking it to the track. So, you know, but anybody that would have bought it, that would have kept it garage and well kept, that car right now, it's a gem, you know.
Yeah, so I think it's still a good opportunity if you have an opportunity to get one. If you're an enthusiast, obviously, you know, we're not giving you any financial advice, but I think it's still a good time to get one.
Right.
If you're going to keep it and, you know, if you want to modify it, whatever you want to do, but, you know. Now, the next thing that I wanted to talk about is the classic look of the car, and I think we touched on the line and why, you know, this is a classic line, more square, more boxy, but
Still sporty.
it's still a sporty car. And
Right.
when you look at it from a mile away, you know it's a 90s BMW.
Absolutely, yeah. It's an eye catcher, big time.
Absolutely. So, question for you. What is your first memory of an M3? Being in one, or wishing for one, or fixing whatever you were doing with an M3? Just out of curiosity.
Well, as a kid, I'll be honest with you, I never, number one, never thought I'd be a mechanic. Never think I'd be
Yeah.
a gearhead or anything like that. You know, it happened to just one day. I ended up fixing my little Honda. My uncle owned a shop like this, and
Yeah.
it never caught my attention though. I mean, I knew he worked on Porsche and stuff. I was 8 years old. My dad used to work
Yeah.
on them. So, but it never really caught my attention. As a kid, my first memory, I knew BMW. I knew BMW was a luxury line of cars,
Right.
as well as Mercedes, but I didn't know much about it.
Yeah.
That I probably wanted one, yeah, but I didn't know what model.
Right. It was like
You
a
know?
wow. car,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know?
When
Yeah.
when it really hit me is when I was 18. When I was never a car enthusiast. All the way to like maybe 17, 18. When I really started working on cars with my uncle. And
Yeah.
I started seeing the kind of cars that he worked on. And in the 2000s, 99, 2000s.
Yeah.
And that's when I saw my first E36.
Yeah.
And it wasn't an M3, but it was close. And then probably maybe a couple months later, one came in, and it was already making a rattling noise. And
Yeah.
come to find out, it was the Vanos. At the time, I didn't know much yet. I was still going to school.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that was my first experience. It was a beautiful car, man. I
Yeah.
mean, it was immaculate. It was still like pristine.
Yeah.
I mean, it was in the era where the E46 had just came out too. So
Okay.
so it was still a nice car.
Yeah.
But those are my first memories. I remember the Vanos was already making a rattling noise.
Yeah.
And my uncles are like, oh yeah, this is what it is. But at the time, I still didn't understand and
Right.
comprehend what Vanos was. I was still going to school.
Yeah.
But shoot, I think I barely even had learned the first stroke, the 4 strokes of an engine at that time. Which is the basics.
Yeah, yeah.
But those are the first memories of E36 for me, of an M3.
That's funny. My first encounter with an E36 was my neighbor had an RC car. It was an E36.
Oh,
This
nice.
big. It was red, and we had so much fun in that car. But it was like a dream. Like, oh my god, dude! Like, if we could have this car in real life, you know?
Right. Oh yeah, I could
And
imagine.
the night is like, wow, this is amazing. So that was my first encounter with with an E36. And over the years, I saw a few, but never really this car here, the 95 E36, which I think is a very iconic first ever production line of that line, of that car. That model.
That body style.
Yeah, exactly.
94, 92, like we said in it earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a beautiful car, man. It's still, look at that thing. I look at it and I still, think about, why did I sell mine?
Yeah, yeah.
Literally.
And as we come to a close, it brings me to the thought of 30 years later, the E36 is coming back. People like you and I can have one and use it for fun. Obviously, these cars have gone through many generations, but this is the type of car that your dad, your mom, your grandfather drove back
Right.
in the day. So there's nostalgia through the generations of perhaps owning a car like that nowadays and connecting with either a loved one or somebody that can pass it on to you. I think that means a lot. And the fact that you are able to get a car like that nowadays is great. Not just a car or a classic, but it's also a performance car.
Yeah, you get a little bit of, like you said, nostalgia
Yeah.
to it, and you get to connect with the people that drove it. Even if
Yeah.
you don't know the owner of the
Right.
car, we know that they enjoyed it, that they knew what they have.
Yeah, hopefully, right?
Right. So yeah, I mean, E36 is all. It ain't gonna go nowhere.
Yeah,
It's just
exactly.
gonna continue growing in value, and people are gonna want them more. And
Yeah.
it's gonna be like the E30s. E30s right now, people want E30s like crazy too.
Yeah, and the longer we wait, the more time that passes by, the reality is that less of those cars are still going to be around because
the demand that people are going to want
Yeah, exactly. So
because of the classic and
the less availability, the more the demand, and it'll make the car a little bit more expensive. So
100%.
yeah. Well, I think we've covered a lot of bases, and I had a great time. I want to thank you for your time. For you guys who don't know, today's Sunday night, and we are working, and that's just how you get shit done.
Absolutely.
So I want to thank you for taking the time. I had a great time. I learned a lot, and remember, Cisco's Benson Beamers in Rancho Cucamonga, California. We're gonna put the address on the screen, and bring your Beamers, bring your Mercedes-Benz, and you'll get to meet Cisco in person.
Absolutely. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I'm glad that I got the opportunity to sit down with a great friend, do a little podcast, little interview. It's awesome, man.
Thank you.
People should know that we're out here and, teach them a little bit about cars and stuff like that. And, I'm really looking forward to the future, making a little bit more podcasts with you.
Absolutely, man. Well, guys, as we come to a close, come on, Cat, get the... I know. He's gonna ruin the whole thing. Psh, go. All right, here we go. Hey guys, so as we come to a close, we want to close this episode with a bang, and that is this. In 1994, BMW produced 2,950 E36 units. Only 2,450 were manual coupes. Now, 10% of that were finished in Alpine white. That leaves us with about 250 units approximately. Now, this here is one of those cars. An automotive rarity, hard to find. This here is production number 433 of any E36 ever produced in the United States. Now that is an automotive fact. Now here's the bang. This car is now for sale. So if you have been looking for an E36, send us an email at hotgearthrills@gmail.com and we will get back to you. Also, if you would like to attend one of our podcasts, or if you have a special car that you would like to feature on our show, also send us an email and we will get back to you very soon. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time.